You know, it's really nice to be immortal with Inaros. Let me show you how you can be immortal too. What's up, everybody? It's PyromaniacPVP coming at you with the first in a series of videos. Today, we will be looking at Inaros for both regular Star Chart and Steel Path grinds. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe and like to see more awesome content. Anyways, guys, Inaros' abilities are all about surviving. His passive alone makes it so you don't have to use revives. While bleeding out, Inaros becomes entombed in a protective sarcophagus. He can revive himself by draining the life force from nearby enemies and allies. On his his first ability, blast enemies with a wave of cursed sand that blinds them and steals their health. Really useful, honestly. His second one, hold power to trap target in quicksand and draw them in for devouring. This steals health and ultimately creates a friendly sand shadow. Definitely awesome. Become a whirling spiral of sand that sends enemies flying and devours those trapped in quicksand for his third ability. And then his fourth ability is charges to transform health into hardened scarab armor, discharged to blast enemies with a scarab swarm. Survivors have their health drained and bestowed on allies. Really, really useful ability. At the start of every mission, you should use your Scarab armor, then find an enemy as quickly as possible to regain health. Your first ability can blind them. Your second one can then sit there and drain their health so you can gain it back very, very quickly. That way you don't actually lose any of your health. I'll be using level 120 Corrupted Heavy Gunners to show the basic star chart build off and to show the abilities. So Devour will make you invulnerable to attack, but you have to start devouring an enemy first to get the invulnerability. Depending on how far away the target is, depends on how long till you become invulnerable. And the first ability blinds them, but to gain any health from the from the first ability, you have to sit there and stealth attack them. And as you can see, devouring is not a good way to kill an enemy due to the fact that you don't kill fast enough. Though note that all abilities shown will not work on Eximus units due to the rework that they recently just did. As you can see, the sandstorm just cleared a good chunk of enemies away from me, but I ran out of energy, so let me show you that using this ability may not be the best choice always. Also, you take damage in the tornado. Let me reset, and then I will show you what Inaros can actually do against these heavy gunners. There we go. Make sure, they can actually move around and fight back. That way you can see them, attack me and me attack them versus, Wow, where's all the enemies? Oh, some Alcrum goofed again on me. Alright, let me reset the enemies. Again, we're going to be doing level 120 corrupted heavy gunners to show this off in the best way possible. Now I'll show you what Inaros can do against these heavy gunners. As you can see, I devoured an enemy when I got low on health. Alright, so far we're doing, not too terribly bad. Yeah, make sure to always keep an eye on your health. Watch it closely. As you can see, it would be very difficult to resurrect yourself with Inaros passive, so watch your health closely. There is supposed to be a red bar that goes and shows how close you are to resurrecting yourself, but because of the unfortunate side effect of it has to be red health and not armored health, it makes it very difficult to resurrect yourself. Alright, I got no more enemies. So, let me show you the builds. The first one is a basic one that does well throughout all of basic star chart. No helmet on this build. I run Physique in the R slot for extra health, Handspring for that quick pop-up if I get knocked down. Negation Swarm augments so that my Scarab Swarm prevents me from being subjected to different procs. Vitality for more health. Intensify for a little power strength. Steel Fiber for more armor. And Vigor, both Carapace mods and the Gladiator mod for more health and armor. As you can see, there is no arcanes due to the fact that with basic star chart, you should be able to afford not to have arcanes on this build. Though, do put whatever you do wish for the arcanes on this. Now onto my Steel Path build. The first thing you may notice is that I run a full Umbral build, Helmet ability, and 2 arcanes. You may be asking why. Well, Silence will disable Acolyte abilities for 1, along with stunning nearby enemies. I'll come back to the arcanes. Rapid Resilience will make sure I don't have to use my Scarab armor, as status will only last for a second, while Adaptation makes it so I take less damage from different procs like Slash. Now onto the arcanes. Arcane Guardian can give me plus 900 armor for 20 seconds, and it makes it so I'm one tanky boy. While Arcane Grace will heal me to full, even if I'm at like 6,500 health. Also, I replaced the Sandstorm ability with Silence. It makes it a very good trade-off because I still get my crowd control in a tight situation. Now, let me show you the survivability of the Inaros versus the same enemies. As you can see, I have less difficulties with this build. When Arcane Grace and Guardian both proc, I take a lot less damage, and I'm able to sit there and continuously regen my health, which makes for a very, very nice build. As you can see, I can sit here and shred through enemies without having to worry about anything. Now they'll constantly hit me with a slash proc and, constantly hit me and all that. Just checking for some more enemies. And it looks like I got everybody. If you run a Kavat or Kubro or Panzer or whatever non-robotic companion, link health and armor make it so your pet goes down a lot less. My Panzer Vogelfila has almost 12,000 health, and it helps with keeping some of the heat off of me, because the enemies will aggro onto my Panzer along with me. So the enemy's attention is divided between me and my companion. Let me reset them, and let me show you how easy my Panzer can actually survive against 120 corrupted heavy gunners. As you can see, my Panzer has no issues with surviving against high-level enemies. And even if it does go down, luckily enough, with the Panzer Vogelfila, I can sit there and continuously bring my Panzer back without having to stand still and revive it. I just gotta kill an enemy. Well, I seems to have gotten all the enemies now. Well, that is Inaros in a nutshell for you. I'm about to show gameplay of me going into a Steel Path Mot survival alone for 30 minutes, so stay tuned for that. If you want to keep seeing amazing content like this, a subscribe and like really does help out the channel. Thank you for watching.